Now, the common law admission test is one of those examinations in which mocks play a very important role and sometimes decisive role in an aspirant's preparation journey, right? So in this video, I'll guide you on how you should be strategizing your mocks. Alright. So hello everyone, this is Ritik from AcetheCLAT, and in this video we would be talking about the mock CLAT strategy. Okay, so we would be looking at these three topics inside this video: what you should be doing before the mock, what you should be doing during the mock, which is the core of this video, and what you should be doing after the mock. And I would also be talking about some of the useful tips in each of these time periods, right? So let's get started. Before that, if you like my work, do press the like button and subscribe to our channel for more CLAT preparation related videos. We also have a Telegram channel. You might want to consider joining that as well. Anyway, now talking about before the mock test. See, you should be attempting the mock at around 2 or 3 p.m. because that is the time when the consortium is going to start the common law admission test on the 13th of June for now. Now the morning of your particular mock, I'm talking about that time period. The first point is to rest, drink and eat well before the mock. Do get 7 to 8 hours of sleep before the mock test. I mean the night before the mock test. Do drink and eat well before the mock test. Get a heavy breakfast because you should not be feeling sleepy, drowsy, hungry or thirsty during the mock, right? Note that it is advisable to keep a bottle of water during your mock. The second point is to sit in a noise-free environment, and take this with a pinch of salt because you should not be getting too comfortable while attempting the mock, because what happens is you are not going to get the most ideal of circumstances on the exam day. Alright, nobody can guarantee that. हो सकता है तुम्हें completely noise-free environment ना मिले. So don't get too comfortable, right? But sit in a room if you are giving the mock from home, and try कि कोई तुम्हें disturb ना करे उस 2 घंटे में. Okay? And while you are attempting the mock test, especially if you are attempting it offline, do switch off all your devices, including your mobile, laptop, tablets, and etc. Okay? The third point is to try and create an exam day environment, which means try to give an offline mock. And offline mock, maybe I would recommend कि go at the center of your institute if they allow. Insist on doing that. अगर possible नहीं है तो कोई नहीं, exam you can give it from your home as well. Okay? And your mindset, mind this, must be, I'm not saying should be, must be to ace the mock. Okay? Take the energy, take your full energy into the mock test, because what happens is exam ke din you would be anyway taking a lot more energy than what you would be taking during a mock. Okay? Hopefully. So mock की energy बढ़ाओ ताकि exam day के दिन और energy मिले. I hope you are getting me. Now, a simple strategy is to give a couple of hours into the revision of current affairs. Okay? Read an article or two on a contemporary legal event for legal aptitude or legal reasoning. For critical reasoning or reading comprehension, do attempt 2 or 3 passages before the mock. And for DI and analytical reasoning, I would encourage you to take out 30 minutes on that particular morning. Okay? Solve some questions. Data interpretation and analytical reasoning में important ये है कि तुम्हारा हाथ चलते रहना चाहिए, मतलब पेपर पे, so that एग्जाम में कुछ भी फालतू के silly mistakes नहीं हो, especially in DI and AR. So the point is to take around 2 or 3 hours before each and every mock, right, on that particular morning. Even if you wake up at 8 a.m., you still have around 6 to 7 hours in which 2 से 3 घंटे ब्रेकफास्ट लंच ये सब होने के बाद भी तुम आराम से निकाल सकते हो. So this is a strategy and this is a syllabus that you should be covering before each and every mock. Now let us move on to the main part of the video, and the topic is what you should be doing during the mock test. Okay, let's get to the first point. It says, what order should you follow? Okay, with the help of this question, I'll let you know the order of the sections that you need to follow or that you should be following while attempting the mock test. Okay, so as said in one of the previous videos, in the CLAT we have 5 sections or 4 sections and 2 subsections, right? The sections are English or reading comprehension, current affairs, we have legal aptitude, we have quantitative techniques, and in logical reasoning we have 2 subsections. We have critical reasoning and we also have analytical reasoning. Okay, in this I have only 2 pieces of advice. The first one is that you should be alternating between a reading intensive section and a reading not so intensive section. Okay, this is the first point or the first piece of advice. And the second piece of advice is that I strongly recommend to start with a reading intensive section. Okay, because that would mean that the last part of my mock is a not so reading intensive section, and I want that to happen. And I don't want you guys to keep a reading intensive section at the last part of the video, because if you get nervous, a reading intensive section can, take away all the precious marks that you would otherwise could have scored. Okay, so this is my advice on what order to follow. Okay, you can definitely do this. Start with English, move on to current affairs, then legal, QT, CR, and then AR. You need to keep only these 2 pieces of advice in mind while trying to determine the order of the sections that you should be following. The second question is how much time should be allotted to each of the sections. Okay, the first one being the English section. You should be spending around 25 to 30 minutes in this section, and if you combine English and logical reasoning, you should not be spending more than 55 minutes on both of the sections. Okay, keep it 27-28 minutes in each of the sections. Okay, in current affairs you should be spending around 10 minutes, maybe stretched to 12 minutes, but not more than that. Okay, so 65 minutes goes there. And then for legal aptitude you should be spending between 35 and 40 minutes, so 37-38 minutes. Okay, so that would make it to around 100 minutes, right? Or let's say 105 minutes at the max. And the remaining time should be spent or devoted to quantitative techniques. And this leaves us with 15 minutes for the quantitative techniques section. Okay, now you can obviously, if you're good in English, you can sort of reduce your English time to 24-25 minutes. If you're good in English, you might be good in logical reasoning as well. Okay, so that would help you save time so that you can spend around 17 to 20 minutes in the quantitative techniques section. You need not be entirely stiff with this time limit or the time allotment. You can be a little flexible depending on the nature of the mock. Okay, now let us move to the FAQs that you may have. The first one is what to do if you feel blank during the mock. Yeah, sometimes quote unquote brain fade may happen during a particular mock. So for that, the best way to cope up with that during a particular mock is to take a sip of water, take some deep breaths, and get back to business. Note that those 2 hours are not for you to think कि ये mock मेरा कैसा हो रहा है कैसा नहीं हो रहा है. That would be a fatal mistake. Okay. The second question is how should you handle tough questions or tough sections? Well, a section in itself, the entire section is not generally tough. Now you would definitely find tough questions. So the thing about tough questions is that they are meant to be left alone. Okay, if you try and sort of invest too much time in that particular question, then the subsequent questions would definitely suffer. So it is advised to, sort of try once or twice. If you are not able to get that particular question, then move on to the next question. It would be a fatal mistake again if you try and stick to that particular question. Okay. The third FAQ, how many questions should be attempted? Now this depends on mock to mock. Okay, if it is an easy mock, 125 plus attempts are is a good number. If it is a moderate mock, 110 is a good number, and it is a tough mock, around 100 or 95 questions is what you should be aiming to attempt. Now the problem is that how would you know is this mock tough, moderate or easy, right? So for this, first of all, you should not be counting as such that how many questions are you attempting right now. Okay, you should you should attempt the question depending on the merit, है ना? अगर क्वेश्चन टफ मिला, डू नॉट अटेम्प्ट इट. क्वेश्चन ईजी मिला, देन डू अटेम्प्ट इट. एंड अगर मॉडरेट है एंड 2 ऑप्शन एलिमिनेट कर चुके हो, then you should be attempting that particular question as well. Okay, flukes. Now believe it or not, a significant part of your entire marks would be coming from flukes. Okay, it is important to not overdo it, but bare minimum number of flukes you should be attempting. And flukes में do I mean blind guess कि मुझे 4 में से कुछ भी नहीं आता, मैं सीधा तुक्का मार दिया? नो, इट इज़ अगर मैंने बहुत कम क्वेश्चंस अटेम्प्ट किए हैं, राइट, तो अगर 3 में मुझे डाउट है तो मैं अटेम्प्ट कर दूँ, एंड अगर 2 में मुझे डाउट है तो मैं डेफिनेटली अटेम्प्ट करूँगा, बिकॉज CLAT is a competitive examination. You would have to take risks. Now before all this is also a good question to ask. Which mock test to go for? My answer would be to evaluate the mock yourself. What I mean by that is, see, we have the sample papers, right? We have 3 sample papers and the final paper as well. First you should be sort of attempting those sample papers. Try and identify what all questions they are trying to ask. Okay, and then try and sort of map these questions with the mock, with that particular mock which you are trying to evaluate, right? You will get your answer. And by the way, AcetheCLAT has already posted 2 sectional mock tests of logical reasoning, so you will find them on the Telegram channel. Do attempt them. They are very relevant for the CLAT 2021. Okay, the next part of the video, the last part of the video, what you should be doing after the mock test, right? I have 3 points on this. The first one being that it is okay to, for a limited period of time, to discuss the mock with your competitors. Okay, you can be doing it face to face with your roommate or your classmate, right? Or you can be doing this online as well, on a Telegram group, on a WhatsApp group. Okay, but keep this in mind. I have written for a limited time. For a limited time would mean not more than 1 hour. Okay, and the second point is that you may take a well-deserved break. You might want to watch a movie of your choice, but don't overdo that. Okay, and the third point is that mock analysis is non-negotiable. At this point of time, a video should be coming up at the top right corner. That video is on mock analysis. Do watch that. It is a comprehensive video on mock analysis. So thank you guys for being with me in the entire video. So thank you guys for being with me in this video. So thank you guys for being with me in this video. If you did find the content useful, please do consider subscribing to our channel. And very importantly, Logical Reasoning 101 mock tests are being rolled out every Sunday. Do attempt them. And if you want a one-on-one session with me, you can book your session from the first link of the description box. This is Ritik signing off, and I'll see you in the next one. All the best.